particles, molecules bonding. Just put something about that. Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be doing an advice video for you. It's kind of themed around back to school / exams, revision, all that kind of thing. I headed to Twitter and Instagram and I asked you to ask me questions with the hashtag #AdviceWithNoo, and so I'm going to answer them for you today and hopefully you find this helpful. And this is also a collab with my friend Sophie. She's also doing an advice video, so if you need some more tips and tricks, I will obviously put her video in the description and her channel, and I definitely think you should subscribe. So let's go. So the first place that I headed was Instagram, and the first question is, how did you deal with the wait for results? Trying not to think about it. You have quite a big stretch normally, especially if it's public exams. Don't think about it until maybe 2 days before. Then you can start thinking, okay, you know, hopefully I'm gonna get this, and try not to overthink it too much. Put distractions in that time. I know it falls over the summer mainly, so, you know, hopefully you're going somewhere nice or you're doing something nice with your friends, or try and organise something, just distract yourself, because there's no point worrying, you know, what's done is done. So the next question is how to get the most out of your lessons, and I actually thought this was a really interesting question. Like in maths, I used to hate maths. Thank God I don't have to do it anymore. I used to think of everything as a puzzle, so, you know, being able to solve something, I got a little kick out of that. It wasn't just doing maths for me, and that helped me get the most out of it. The more you listen, the more you're learning, and, you know, things aren't as boring. I find that if I wasn't listening in physics, I got bored so easily, and then I wouldn't do very well on a test or the homework. And the more you listen, I think obviously the more you take in, but the more you'll start to enjoy things. So the next question is, how do you organise your notes? And this is something that came up loads all across the hashtag. People were asking about notes and revision notes and the best way to revise, and if I'm honest, you kind of have to, you know, work out for yourself. Everyone responds differently to different types of revision, but I think the best way to revise is, you know, to organise your notes the way you want them. So personally, the way I organise mine is on little note cards for some subjects, especially for languages. I find you flip it over, do vocab and that kind of thing. And then the other thing that I do is I have some notebooks here. These are not expensive, they are 200 pages, so they're not even huge, and I will show you inside of one of them. This one's, it fell. This one's definitely less full, and I'll show you close up now. You can see all my notes in here. They're all sort of coloured and, you know, bright and that kind of thing. Obviously, they're a pain if you lose them because you've lost all your notes, not just one note card, but they're so helpful. I put them in my bag when I was on train journeys, just looking over them, you know, familiarising yourself with them. It's so helpful. Also, if you try and keep all your notes a certain way, so I've been doing that for about a year now, and I've been doing the note cards for about 3 or 4 years now. Not that I've been making those books for that long, but that's the system I've been using. Your brain gets used to it, so you can, you know, revise better. And because I use those for my mocks and then again for my actual GCSEs, I definitely think that helps cement things in my brain better. So I knew where things were on the page, and that helped me remember it in the exam. The next question is, I'm going to be picking my options this year and I'm having no idea what to pick. It's really stressful. How did you pick your GCSEs? I think that I'm going to sound like every teacher ever now, or certainly every teacher at my school, but at GCSE, pick what you like doing. Do not pick, like, for instance, I didn't do Latin even though my parents wanted me to, because I didn't like Latin and I knew I wouldn't enjoy it. I knew I'd have a horrible time. Obviously you can't always get your way with that kind of thing. You know, your parents might really want you to do one certain subject, in which case talk to them about it, and, you know, you might end up doing it and you might end up liking it, you never know. But I think definitely to start with, do the ones you like. If there's a specific job, for instance, if you want to be a doctor, you kind of have to do certain subjects, that's a given. But if you don't know, you know, what kind of thing you want to do, go for it and do what you like doing. So now I am going to Twitter, and the first question here is, do you have any tips on making studying easier / more enjoyable? So first off, it's never gonna be the most enjoyable thing ever. You know, it's not like watching YouTube, although there are some very good YouTube videos, and if you were ever stuck for what to do for revision, test this out on like a little test you have at school. Try looking on the internet and watching some YouTube videos, and not procrastinating unless it's watching my channel, but actually watching the videos, taking it in, and then, you know, having a go and seeing if that works for you, because that's another way of learning. So for example, you can work with a friend, and then the other thing I would say is reward yourself. That's really important, especially along the way. I'm kind of famed for it amongst some of my friends, having like snacks out. Like, they can be healthy snacks, that's fine, in like a little bowl around me, and when you answer something right, you can have some chocolate. And the other thing I would say is get fun revision stuff. So I haven't opened these yet, but these are called duck notes, duck-shaped post-it notes. I just think I just think if I had those to write stuff on, like, and put them around, and I have, oh look, I have one here. Stainless steel is a chromium nickel alloy of steel. And it doesn't rust apparently. So that's an example of a post-it note that I put up when I was revising for my chemistry. So, you know, things around the house, and if they're shaped like ducks, you might be more likely to read them. And the other thing is get some nice colours. I like these, and you can write, you know, your notes in colour, and that makes it more fun. I think, you know, making it look all pretty. If you're looking for some stationery, my friend Eve is doing a giveaway, and it ends on the 6th of September. So I will leave the link to that in the description. Go and enter that, start off the year really well, and, you know, do well in your exams. And you can thank me and Eve. So the next question basically is, in what ways can you become better at subjects that you're not very good at? And I would say the most important thing is to work really hard on them. Get on with it. You know, you have to do it at some time. That you can get rid of your subjects, especially in England after GCSE. There's nothing you have to do for a subject for your A-levels. It's like, you can pick. So if it's something you're not very good at, just know that hopefully you'll be finishing it soon, and you can just, you know, work hard at it whilst you still do it. It doesn't last long, just work hard. Ways to motivate yourself while doing things like revising and homework. So this is really difficult. Motivation is really hard, I think. It's really hard to, you know, like, not procrastinate, get off YouTube and go and do your work. I'm not very good at it. I don't feel like I'm in a place to give you much advice about it, but I would say on my good days where I do actually go and do work and I am motivated, it's because I've got something the other end. So if you say, you tell yourself you're not allowed to do anything else until you do your work, I find that really helps. So you've got something to look forward to, even if that's like, you know, food reward, or you can go and do something reward, or once you've done that you can watch, you know, another episode of whatever it is that you're watching. Reward yourself, that will help you get through. The other thing is you have to do it, so you might as well do it well. That's a really good, like, combat for laziness. You're gonna do it anyway. You have to take GCSEs, A-levels, you have to, like, work. So you might as well do it well, because what's the point in not doing it well when you can do it well? Like, you might as well put a little bit of effort in. I think it is so important across life advice with New, to put in effort to whatever it is you're doing. It will make the outcome so much better, and you will feel so much better. This is motivation for you. You can do it. You're amazing. It's not gonna last forever, and you have to do it, so you might as well do it well. Motivation. The next question is how to deal with stress. And I've got written here hobbies. For me, it's YouTube. That's why YouTube is such a big deal. That's why I really love when my YouTube videos do well, or when you enjoy my YouTube videos, because it's my biggest hobby. I used to dance. That was another thing that I used to do to, you know, relieve stress. It wasn't specifically to relieve my stress, but it was a hobby, you know. It's something else to put your mind on. Make lists, be organised, make yourself organised. I was not organised at all, but I live in two houses, my mum's and my dad's, so I move every 4 to 5 days, so I have to be really organised with my stuff. And I would say talk to people as well. There are lots of websites as well where you can talk to people, and, you know, it's kind of anonymous. I'll put some again in the description. You can talk to people if you're feeling stressed. You can always talk to me. My DMs on Instagram are most definitely open. You can just send me a picture of your wall and then write me a little paragraph, and I will try and help you. And if you do ever have any queries or any, you know, like, worries, definitely talk to someone, because I always think that helps.